So we are starting already, so please take your seats. Ми вже починаємо. Будь ласочка, займайте свої місця. Особливо спікери, будь ласка, не уходьте нікуди. Йдіть сюди, бо зараз буде дуже такий інструктаж щодо вашого часу і кількості хвилин і секунд. Ні, от Крістіан. Yeah, please, speakers. Okay, first of all, I would like to introduce Christian BÖLLING, who also our hero and came to Ukraine. And moreover, he was exactly a person who in July 2022 accepted Ukrainian Cluster Alliance and Ukraine as a whole as a networking partner. So thank you so much, Christian, for that. We are really appreciate it. And of course, thank you. And of course, I would like to introduce you. Christian BÖLLING has headed the German office of EAT manufacturing since January 2019, even before COVID. And prior to his current position, Christian has been working at the Technical University on Darmstadt. And you know that Darmstadt, it's a brother city of Uzhgorod. So I think nothing is occasional in this life. As a head of cutting technology research at the Institute of Production Management, Technology and Machine Tools. So Christian, thank you so much for coming. Yes, please take your seat. And if you don't mind, I will introduce all speakers. The next speaker is Klaus Beetz. He is still online. Okay, so Klaus, I probably introduced him just before his speech, but still he is actually kind of, I'm not sure it's allowed to say as initiated, but really the first CEO of EAT manufacturing. And he looked back on more than 4 decades of industry experience in software and system engineering, including 5 years on international delegation to Eastern Europe. Building on degrees of mathematics and philosophy, he started his professional career in software engineering in Nexcore, a leading information technology company at AAC. Sector, architecture, engineering, and construction. And he joined Siemens in 2002 and was heading a global technology field, software and system engineering, and responsible for the worldwide research and technology transfer of innovative engineering technology for software-intensive systems and digital technologies. And from the January 2020 to July 2023, he was the CEO of EAT Manufacturing, innovation community within European Institute of Innovation and Technology. So Klaus will join us online. Hello, Klaus. Glad to see you.
Hello, good afternoon.
And
you hear me?
yes. Yes, but
Very good, thank you.
Good. And then Maksym KOLISNYK. He's a very important person, so you should already know that. And actually, I think this is the first conference on your new position, right? Yeah. Ah, cool. So we are, EAT manufacturing. This manufacturing day, Ukraine is the first in many, many things. First of all, it's the first EAT event in Ukraine, first EAT manufacturing event in Ukraine, and actually your debut as, let me say it correctly, as a national Horizont officer. So a lead officer at Horizont Office of Ukraine, National Research Foundation of Ukraine. PhD in Public Administration, Associate Professor, Leader and Participant of 20 international scientific and educational projects on the subject of EU single digital market, sustainable digital development in the EU cybersecurity, the use of the new technologies in the security and defense sector, and of course, in frame of Horizon, Erasmus, US Department, and so on. And visiting professor at the University of Lille, France, and graduate of National School of Administration, France, 2011. And I knew that he is also from Kharkiv. So you're welcome. And Olena. And Olena FESENKO, a general manager of EEN-Ukraine Consortium, head of the International Cooperation Technology Transfer Intellectual Property Department of Institute of Physics of the National Academy of Science of Ukraine. She has many years' experience in support, innovation, and building cooperation with businesses in Ukraine and abroad. And she's initiated and main organizer of summer schools for young researchers, international conference, NANO, which gathered each year more than 6 participants from more than 30 countries of the world. Also, she is the main organizer of the Innovation Forum and a lot of other national and international events. She is author of more than 40 articles in international journals. And she has great experience in implementation of different types of international projects. And now she's also innovative leader of EEN-Ukraine Consortium, and she will share her information about the pilot project which had launched, namely Digital and Innovation Center. Thank you, Olena. But I never will forget our 4 months every morning meeting with, from March 2022, which actually was supported by European Commission. And every morning we had kind of short meeting and thinking how to support our businesses to survive. Thank you for that moment. Thank you. And Oleksii. I love your family name. I love your surname. So his name SOLNTSEV. I don't know if you understand the meaning of this name because it's kind of sunshine. So this is Oleksii Sunshine. You're welcome. Yes, thank you so much for coming. And he's exactly a person who already experienced with EAT manufacturing, and he will share his experience of cooperation with EAT manufacturing. So he's a CEO and founder of Smart Zavod, a German-Ukrainian deep tech startup. In 2017, Oleksii obtained a bachelor degree in a field of design and machine tools from Kyiv Polytechnic Institute in Ukraine. He was awarded of DAAD scholarship, which enabled him, of course, to have new good contacts abroad. And in 2018, Oleksii showcased the personally designed 3D printer in Hanover Messe, which was also had big success. Upon returning to Kyiv, Oleksii took the role of STO and hardware status, and in 2021, he joined forces with colleagues and Anton Yakhno and established Smart Zavod. The year 2022 provided to be a significant milestone for this startup, and Smart Zavod secured and moreover had funded, yes, renowned startup funding program in Germany. So Oleksii possesses extensive expertise in rapid prototyping, hybrid technologies, robotic systems, on parallel kinematics and multi-body system analysis. Thank you. I said something wrong now? Thank you. And actually in the same order as I introduce you, please, we are looking forward for your speeches and for your experience and our opportunities to work together. Christian, please.
So, okay, thank you, Olga, and also for me it's a great pleasure to be here. We actually, as Olga mentioned, we started the journey as EIT Manufacturing in Ukraine last year by signing the cooperation agreement with the Ukrainian Cluster Alliance. We discussed what we could do at short notice, and from April this year on, Olga joined us as manager Ukraine, which is really a great help because as from Darmstadt, it is far away to Ukraine, and having a person on our side that is really experienced in the Ukrainian ecosystem, but also knows the European ecosystem quite well, is really, really helpful. And I think that's also one reason why we are here today. Her engagement and also her help to set this up is really, really great. I would like to briefly present our offerings on innovation and our, let's say, our thinking, our mindset when it comes to innovation. As we see innovation as the last step from taking results from research into the market, as Caroline already mentioned in the beginning. And for that, we need to perform some steps, and so the first thing, and I think that's a great example today, but we have plenty of others, is first of all the network and the community building, because innovation will not work and will not happen if we don't have the right people around, if you don't know what's happening around, who are the, let's say, maybe competing technologies, how you are located in your ecosystem you want to develop and grow your business. And I think one first step is really to come to the community, and we as EIT Manufacturing are by design a community, and as you can see, we have a lot of opportunities, offers. We have our innovation platform called Agora. That's a one-stop shop with all the information that relate to EIT Manufacturing. We have their webinars, we have white papers published, and I think that's also a good source of information for you as interested stakeholders in the manufacturing sector to get some ideas on where we are working on which topics we are working on, what directions industry is developing, and where you could position yourself. So I think first step to innovation is really networking and community building, and then the next step is really finding the right commercial partners. We offer a lot of matchmaking opportunities. Today is one. We have large events on a yearly basis. For the entire European ecosystem, we have a lot of events on the regional level. So here we are bringing the right people together and allow you to collaborate. And then we have one important instrument, and that's the financial investment we can provide in innovation. And we call it not funding, we call it investment, even though it's formally a funding because we are working under Horizon Europe scheme. For us, we invest into such projects because we want to have a commercial success out of those projects for all participants. And that means we have a call of more than 10 million euro per year where we support activities in a duration of 1 to 2 years that really focus on breakthrough technologies that has reached a level where you could stop, or where you stop research and then go into the market development. And that is our focus point. So the consortia are relatively small. We have a business owner, we have 2 pilot customers, we have, if needed, a research organization, for example. So all the relevant organizations that we need to boost the innovation and bring it to the market. So that's really our really our vehicle to support innovation. And we have one great example located already here from Ukraine. And I just talked to Oleksii this morning, and we already found a connection to the second big example. That's a project we supported for 2 years called SoftDream. And out of SoftDream, and you see it's a partnership from research to the big corporate Volkswagen Group. The result of this project was a startup called Adaxis, and that's currently developing very well. And I could learn from Oleksii this morning that they have already engaged in a cooperation together, because Adaxis has technology that helps smart Zavod, and therefore you can see network is important, finding the right commercial partners, but also the financial investment to get things up and running. And that's our own funding scheme. And of course, we are also looking beyond. And there are so many different other schemes. And we know that our money is not sufficient, and it's also not always, or projects or technology is not always at the right development level that we can support it with our financial schemes. But there are a lot of other schemes that are available on the European level that can help. And of course, together with our partnership, we are also working to make this funding schemes accessible for the partnership in various consortia. So that means it's really, again, out of the network, identifying common needs, identifying possible collaboration partners, and then drive that together with those partnerships towards the additional financial investment schemes. So that's in a nutshell what we are doing in innovation. So that means if you have technology that is far advanced but not yet market ready, and you're seeking for opportunities to develop it together with pilot customers, with R&D institutes towards a product, and then scale it and bring it on the market, scale it on the market, then we are the right ones, and then you should talk to us. So I'm happy to answer all the questions also afterwards. Yeah, with that I'm closing, and yeah, thanks for being here, and I will then hand over to my colleague that may now bring a broader look on Horizon Europe to the audience.
Thank you, Christian. I represent here Horizon Europe office in Ukraine. First of all, I would like to thank warmly organizers for inviting us to this event in such difficult times. And I would like to welcome our European partners, and I hope this event will meet their expectations. À titre plus personnel, en tant que francophone et diplômé de l'École nationale de l'administration, France, je souhaite la bienvenue aux partenaires européens et aux collègues françaises. Nous sommes très heureux de vous accueillir ici et nous espérons que cet événement répondra à vos attentes, à toutes vos attentes. So Horizon Europe office in Ukraine is a common project of European Union and Ukraine. During previous period, Horizon 2020, up to 2020, Ukraine received over 46 million euros of financing, of funding, within the frames of 240 projects. And this office is a response to the aggression against Ukraine, and it is a sign of solidarity of the European Union to the people of Ukraine, to our research and innovation community, and to Ukrainian state. And we are extremely grateful to the European Union for this opportunity. This office started to operate in October 2023, and the initial period of operation is 3 years. Why in principle this office was launched? Because unfortunately, war damaged research and innovation infrastructure of Ukraine. Ukraine lost over 15% of its infrastructure, research infrastructure, and affected over 40% of research workforce. So the primary goal, the primary objective of Horizon office in Ukraine is to protect and to nurture research community of our country. What are we going to do? What are our key actions? First of all, is to become main contact point and to network with other contact points of Ukraine that will be adopted, approved in nearest future. Is to promote opportunities amongst R&I community of Ukraine. Is to provide also policy analysis, policy advice to public authorities, and to support this community in their actions. That means monitor projects and diffuse information on best cases and facilitate their access to the opportunities of the program. If you wish, overarching objectives of the Horizon Europe Office of Ukraine is doublefold. Is bring together all actors, national contact points, research community, industry, state together, and facilitate their access to the integration and to the opportunities of the program. So what we are going to achieve? We are going to launch at the beginning of the next year website of the Horizon Europe office in Ukraine, and where all opportunities will be available, database, potential partners and contacts, etc. will be available there. So we will provide professional advice, professional services to national contact points and to the community. And we will contribute to the transformation of National Research Foundation into National Center of European Integration of Ukraine in the field of innovation and research. And our main ambition is to lower barriers for researchers and innovators of Ukraine in their access to the European research area. And what is our formula of success, formula of integration? Skills, information, and support. Of course, there are some barriers, and I hope we will overcome all these barriers. Despite all these barriers, like regulatory problems, like limited access of men for traveling, Ukraine has shown very good dynamics in the obtaining of new projects, and only this year Ukrainian researchers attracted more than 20 million euros, and we expect more next year, and 57 projects started this year. And we are here to support them, we are here to inform them, we are here to accompany them from the design till the reporting. Thank you for your attention. Here are our contacts, and you are always more than welcome.
Yes, so thank you for the presentation of the Horizon Europe office, and I think if there are any questions also in the future on how we collaborate. So you have just started. We will find out also together with Olga how we collaborate in the future, and then be efficient in communicating on our activities. Now I would like to bring in Klaus. We see you on the screen already. Hello, Klaus. Nice to have you here. You've already heard that Klaus was the first CEO of EIT Manufacturing, and now he is still a coach for startups, for businesses, and so you have also your C on innovation, and so please, we are eager to listen.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I have to apologize. I really had the intention to be on site in Oxford with you, but unfortunately something unforeseen on my side happened, so I will be here only online. So again, sorry for that. And then, Olga, you will show my slides?
Yes, we do.
Okay, please go ahead. These are some standard slides. Please skip the first two ones. Let me immediately start with the third one. Can we move forward? Once again, one more. So I would like to share with you a little bit my innovation and why I'm so a fan of innovation. I mean, I know Ukraine has really to fight with other topics, but nevertheless, we have not to forget our biggest challenge we have in our generation, and this is really to safeguard our planet and that also the generations after us have a nice place to live here on Earth. And for me, innovation, and today the climate summit in Dubai starts, and it seems that the 1.0 goal to keep the heating or the increase on the average temperature below 1.0 is not longer reachable. When you talk with serious scientists, they even say we will have above 2 degrees, even close to 3 degrees, with all the consequences of storms, of floods, of fire, and what we experienced over the last year in sometimes tremendously form. Also in Germany, we had a flood with close to 200 deaths. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah. And for me, innovation is the key for the decarbonization of the industry and the transition towards the circular economy. And therefore, innovation is really an important topic for me. Can we switch to the next slide? But innovation is not a purpose by itself. No, one back. For me, innovation, my understanding of innovation is research is investing money to generate knowledge. And innovation means to generate money out of knowledge. So innovation has to have a financial impact. It has to have a positive financial impact on the balance sheet of the companies, of the industry. That it really means research, development, and innovation, R&D and I, and not R&D and die. And I want to highlight this on an example, how innovative technologies can contribute really and have a positive impact on the balance sheet of the companies. Let's move to the next slide. And the example is about augmented AI. If we look back in Industry 1.0, where we moved from hand-done work to manual labor to mechanical work, so all was done on the shop floor when it comes to manufacturing itself by hand, manually. Only also in Industry 2.0, where electricity brought a lot of innovation into our shop floor and into our factories and plants, manufacturing innovation was done manually. In Industry 3.0, where we talked about embedded software, there we started with code rules to classify objects, support decision-making, but only in Industry 4.0, where we talk more about embedded hardware. Everything is embedded in an IT infrastructure, is connected to a digital backbone, is connected to other things. But only less than 10 years ago, we started with intelligent algorithms, with imaging recognition and things like that, also in the manufacturing evolution, in the manufacturing inspection evolution. Now, with augmented AI, we want to do the next step, because still the hurdle to use AI and other digital technologies in the factories and plant is very high, and it costs a lot of effort. You need experts, data analysts, AI experts, and the goal of augmented AI is really to go a step forward, and maybe we can switch to the next slide. And the idea is to encapsulate all what is necessary to use intelligent algorithm decision-making in an high sophisticated, let's say, software toolbox, and so that an AI experts or data experts, also the data labeling, the data tagging, is no longer necessary, that a quality manager within the factory or plant can use these algorithms with a short training, but without having data experts, data analysts around him who have to support him. And you can easily understand that this approach will have a positive impact on the balance sheet of the companies who will use that, because it will significantly decrease the investment that is necessary to use artificial intelligence in the shop floor for the quality inspection, and it will lower the hurdle to use such digital technologies. This is one example of an innovative approach, but I want to highlight another topic here, and this is, you know, as CEO of EIT Manufacturing, and also before when I was with the Siemens Corporate Technology, I traveled a lot in Europe, and I visited a lot of research labs in universities, in industry, but also in the research institutes. And I was always impressed by the richness of technologies we have here available in Europe. What is developed in the universities, in the research lab, but also in the applied research within the industry. And maybe we can switch to the next slide. And what drives me over the years was really, how can we bring these technologies much more efficient, much more faster into the industry, into the real business. And I am very in favor of the teaching factory approach. I would like to present you briefly. You know, the developers of the teaching factory approach have been inspired from the healthcare. You know, every university, the speeches doctors, has a university hospital that young doctors in their education really get insight how it works, and works with the real stuff and not only in theory. Now we cannot build on each university a factory, but with the digital possibilities we have now available, with augmented reality, with virtual reality, we can bring the classroom to the factory and the factory to the classroom. And around that paradigm, the teaching factory approach is developed. Can we switch to the next slide? It is a systematic, structured approach to bring together researchers from universities, from research institutes, together with industry. And it starts normally with a half-day workshop where innovations were presented. On the other hand, pain points and challenges of the industry were identified. It is sometimes done with one company, sometimes with a group of companies. It depends how open the companies are to talk about their issues they have and their pain points, and also to learn from peers, from others in the industry. And then from this half-day workshop, there started a systematic identification which technology might fit for which challenge, which upskilling, which trainings are necessary, which trainings institutes or upskilling or reskilling institute can deliver the necessary training. So you see, this is a systematic, structured approach to bring innovative research results into the industry. And maybe we can switch to the next slide. I want to illustrate this approach with a short video here on a European funded project within Horizon Europe, where research institute and smaller companies try to implement the teaching factory paradigm. And the main goal here is, maybe Olga, we can start a video. The main goal here is to look from the people point of view, how digital and other technologies can support, augment the capabilities of the people in the shop floor and help them in their daily work, relieve them from hard physical work that no longer muscle strength is needed. And you see here a few examples where robots and human beings work together very, very smoothly. And this is the goal behind the teaching factory, to look what technology, which pain point can be solved by using digital technologies. And here you don't see it, the people is talking to the robot and say to him, here, stop, let me finish my thing, then you can continue. So thanks a lot for listening to me, and I hope it could be stimulate a bit also your thinking about which role innovation can play. And I am really looking forward that we can stop the video, that Ukraine will join the European Union, and EIT manufacturing is a perfect community for you to connect you overall to the innovation communities in Europe. Thank you.
So thank you, Klaus, for having the presentation, and I think you already made the connection also to our upcoming topic of education, reskilling, upskilling, but in the end it belongs together. Innovation does belong or goes along with education and vice versa. But we will come to that later in our next session. Now it's really your part, so we are looking forward to your presentation.
Thank you for inviting me, and today I wanted to share with you our pilot project, and maybe at the first I will make a small overview why we decided to develop this pilot project. Now, innovation has a crucial role in the building of success business of each country. And you know that today we live in a very interesting time, in period where Industry 5.0 had started, and it aims to foster harmonious and synergy collaboration between humans and machines. And it's need to know that science, technology, and innovation are very important elements for each country. And I am sure that they will be also play a crucial role in rebuilding Ukraine too. You know that Ukraine is a country of brave and very smart people. And let me to remind you some world-famous Ukrainian innovators who changed the world. Sergei Korolev was one of the founders of cosmonautics. Oleksii is software engineering at SpaceX. Lyubomir Romankiev was the first in the world to develop magnetic head for hard disk drive. Stefan Wozniak is a designer of one of the first personal computers in the world, Apple. Mykola Amosov was one of the first in the world who developed and introduced anti-robotic head valve prosthesis. Igor Sikorsky is widely known as pioneering innovator in rotation aviation. And Boris Paton, I wanted to mention about him. He was president of National Academy of Science of Ukraine many years. He invented the first application of welding in open space, as well as welding of living tissue. This very unique technique which widely used in different countries of the world now, and its recognition as a very effective methods in surgery. You know that Ukraine has a lot of famous scientific and research schools, and also we have a lot of deep tech technologies. For example, I wanted to mention, maybe you know, maybe not, but the pride of Ukraine, Mria, had 222 world records. Yes, it's pity that now it's destroyed, but I'm sure that Ukraine find opportunity to rebuild it. And also Ukraine, known and very famous with light aircraft manufacturing, such as Aerocopter, Aeropact, and others. Also Ukraine very strong in IT sectors, and we have now big attention from international partner, because Ukraine is getting large attention as a fast-growing digital tech hub in eastern part, able to take strong competitive position in innovative industries such as artificial intelligence and deep tech. The IT sector also very strong in Ukraine. You know that we have a lot of Ukrainian famous tech and digital companies, and one of reason why digital sector is so strong in Ukraine, that for example our government had launched Dia City. It's a special national network for support digital innovation companies in Ukraine. And it's needed to note that this special framework, Dia Business, proposes different benefits for its clients, such as low taxes, very flexible model for employment, protection, IT protection, guarantee, and others. Also, as you can see, Ukraine had and has now, has now a very strong possibility in the future to become very highly developing country. But at this moment, yes, we have a little bit some issue which we must to develop. For example, we must develop strong innovation ecosystem in Ukraine. Our governments must pay more attention for fundamental science, applied science, and also try to connect more close technology, learning process, and business representatives. And that's why when we analyze all of the situation, we decided to create our pilot project. Our pilot project will be launched, and we started already to work in the frame of this project. The title of this project, Digital Innovation Center. It will be located at Institute of Physics, National Academy of Science of Ukraine. Maybe you know that National Academy of Science of Ukraine, it is the biggest science and innovation network in Ukraine, which consists of more than 120 entities which covered all Ukraine, and maybe I think in each region you will find a representative of National Academy of Science. And this year my team received a small project from Ministry of Education and Science for developed such center. It's for the first step. We developed a conception, we prepared and define all services which we propose for our clients. And we calculated budget which we need to implement this idea. As you see, in total we will need 170,000 euros. It's not so big amount, and I'm sure that it's possible to implement, and very quickly. At this moment we already found 30,000 euros and start process. As you can see, we will have several tasks. One of the tasks is create open access laboratories. So we will have open access laboratories where everyone who needs our technique or innovation service can come to us to register it on our website and to receive the services. So we plan to create open access laboratories such as Digital Innovation Hub, such as chemical laboratory, optical, advanced materials, and also we plan to organize deep tech, accelerator. Here you can see some of our last activities, because I wanted to mention, I have 2 slides and I finalized my pitch. I wanted to mention that our team had great experience in protection innovation companies in Ukraine, startups. We organize a lot of different events. Also, we are represent Enterprise Europe Network in Ukraine, and you will have more opportunity to learn about our tools in the next session. And I invite you to listen all opportunities which we propose, not only for innovation, but for business representatives too. And I wanted to show you last slide. It's our roadmap of our activities, and now we are looking for cooperation. We are looking for investor partners for developing this idea, because I'm sure that it's need to cooperate very close, and we wanted to create as one point, as one door, whereas science, education, and business can cooperate together. Thank you for your attention.
So thank you very much for the overview. I guess there are a lot of opportunities, and we have, after this event, a lot of time also to exchange. So if you're interested in activities, please reach out to us, all of us, of course. And now I would like to hand over to Oleksii, and he will provide us with a very good example and success story.
Thank you, Christian. Can you hear me?
Not yet.
Now it should be, yeah. So first of all, thank you all guests from Europe that visited us. Believe me, it really means for us a lot, for the people here in Ukraine who believe that manufacturing is a heart of economics of the future. So thank you one more time. And yeah, I'm Oleksii, the CEO and co-founder of Smart Zavod. Smart Zavod is an industry tech startup developing the hybrid manufacturing technologies. Our mission is to help manufacturing companies overcome the current challenges of Industry 4.0, 5.0 by providing them with possibility to produce complex, multi-material and precise parts from the polymers, flexible, on demand. Talking about startup, we are a Ukrainian-German startup, a German-Ukrainian startup. We have offices in both countries. Now we are 10 members. We have 10 members in our team. Our solution on the TRL readiness level 7. And last year, despite the war, despite our difficulties, we was able to rise 250K to put hybrid technologies and flexible manufacturing system on the next level. So, shortly about me, but thanks to Olga, you already know that I have experience in manufacturing and able to be like here and talk about manufacturing talk. So let's move to the, important thing, we work already for 1 year really intensive with AIT manufacturing. We started this 1 year ago. Our first prototype, like really funny prototype, was presented on the Formnext, the biggest additive manufacturing exhibition in the world. And there we met Wolfgang and Silvia and started our joint way. And since this time, we participate in the scale-up program with Christian BÖLLING, with AIT Central GmbH. Also, we won 2 really important funding program, EVO-R, which will allow us to build a modular software for hybrid equipment, and first open call. But most important thing is not only the funding and money, really. Most important thing is that if we open the fundraising page of AIT Manufacturing, we see the flagships. You can see these flagships on this slide. And if we read them, we see the perfect match between what we are doing in Smart Zavod and what AIT Manufacturing trying to influence, trying to change like flexible manufacturing system, sustainable way of manufacturing, not just with blah, 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 but with real things in manufacturing, social responsibility, and so on. And I will explain you today why we really do that. And here's our hero, manufacturing company. To be more precisely, it's medium or large company with some experience in high tech. The manufacturing company, let's say OEM from automotive, which produce complex parts already for tens of the years. This company is happy now. She overcomes the challenges of Industry 3.0 revolution. She now can produce same parts in a big quantities. It's the biggest outcome of Industry 3.0 revolution, the automatization of a serial production. Everything good, KPIs are growing, Industry 4.0 is now, and digitalization, digitalization of supply chain, everything is fine. But we are customers. And we don't want to use we create really problems. Because according to all studies, the biggest trend of Industry 5.0 is a mass customization or mass personalization. Personalization of prostheses in medicine industries, clear. We as the customers don't want to have a like vehicle, we want to be like personals. It has a big social aspects, but just accept it that mass customization is a big trend, and it creates a big problems for the manufacturing company, because manufacturing companies, as I said before, they learned how to produce a lot of same parts. Now they need to produce different parts for us. It's only one problem. The other is government. It's not a problem, actually. Government says to manufacturing company, hey, do what they want, do what they do to do everything, but please keep in mind resource efficiency. Please try to use circular business models and low carbon footprint. And now our manufacturing company crying because she invested in serial production, all was really good. But now, as said, she needs to produce not same parts in the large quantities, but different parts, flexible in smaller quantities. And her production lines are not adopted for this. So the question, how to produce different parts on the complex, critical parts on demand. For example, in automotive sector, in pneumatic industry, in food contact industry. Maybe additive manufacturing could help. Yeah, it's great technology. Really, we all know that additive manufacturing, the biggest advantage is flexibility. Can it help company to produce these parts? Yes, no, not always, I would say. There is several big barriers that make this not possible, like high entry cost. Especially this is a problem for SMEs, yes? They cannot afford to be efficient on the additive manufacturing scene. You need a lot of equipment. If you need to have, because there is different types of materials. To print with them, you need different equipment. You need equipment for post-processing. You need personals. You need to learn personal. You need to invest in learning of personal. And it's not so easy. And you still, Olga, no, please. Okay. Thank you. So really, high entry cost, and the most biggest problem is poor quality. So additive manufacturing is unfortunately not there. It cannot replace so easily parts. And then manufacturing company asks Zavod, could you help them? Yes, we can. We developed the hybrid, modular and automated flexible manufacturing system that is different from the exciting one with patented toolchain system and unique lightweight design, which allows to, thanks to hybridity, we can combine different material groups like polymers, engineering polymers, composites, elastomers in a single production cycle in a single part. But we use extrusion technology, which has a big backdraw. Disadvantage is the quality. And remember, I saw that our customer is from like industries that produce critical part, where quality of the parts, tolerance, the surface quality is important. So we use automatic post-processing. We can change the tools automatically in our system to be able to print with different material groups, to combine different technologies in a single production cycle. Yeah, in this way, you can see the quality, typical printing quality before post-processing and after post-processing with Zavod. Time. And modular. Why it's modular? Because we can adopt the setup of the tools that need our customers to their needs to avoid downtime. So if customers need, for example, this one customer from automotive industry, they want to print with PP, polypropylene modified with minerals, which is typical material for automotive, and they want to do combined parts with the silicon, and they want to do it in good quality. That means we will provide them with 3 tools in our equipment. Granular extruder, spindle for the post-processing, and dosing and mixing heat for the printing with silicon, so they can combine it in one single tech cycle. Or if they need more axle to print non-planar, not in 3D, but more axle, we can do that. Cool, we are cool guys, we know that. I really want to go to use case to explain you why we are also thinking about this sustainability and not just a new technology. Our marketing is great. Use cases, yes. Thanks to the participation in one Horizon call, we was able to make a real-world example, to real-world use case with our good partner and potential customer, OSV. OSV is a company, a small enterprise that produces dosing and mixing equipment for the polyurethanes. Every new machine is a new, every order is a new machine that has up to 30% of the unique parts that they need somehow to manufacture. The problem is that these parts, and they normally do it from aluminum, because the part with the CNC milling, with CNC turning. Because this part that they, this is an example of this part, you can see it, it's critical part. It should resist big dynamic loads. It should have a perfect surface quality to avoid, to be able to hermetization, yeah? And now let's look at the cycle. Yeah, it's important, really. So really big problem. So how such parts are produced now in Europe, these aluminum parts that manufacturers need to produce on demand. The raw material that you can see on the slide come from like up to 50%, if I'm not mistaken, from Russia or from China. And we are not about politics, we're talking about the resource sovereignty, resource independence of the Europe. Then this needs to be transformed in this way. This means logistic, energy, dangerous job. Is it sustainable? I don't think so. Then this goes to the CNC machine center. And we need 2 operators that we will put this on the big 3-4 million heavy CNC center. And only then we can create the parts. How much it costs how much this small part, it's really a small part, 70 euro. If you have this CNC machine, 3 million CNC machine in-house. But additionally, you need a tooling that costs 120 euro. And if the part is only one, you need only one part today, then you will pay 220 euro. If you don't have the CNC machine, this will cost 350 euro. And it's not sustainable, it's create a dangerous job, and so on. With Smart Zavod hybrid technology, we can print this part from the recyclable materials with raw material which was produced in Europe and make a post-processing only from important surfaces, generating much less waste than with CNC machine. So thank you so much. If you have some here people or companies or representatives that has unique polymer-based challenges, you're welcome on our board. Thank you so much, and слава Україні! Дякую вам. And sorry for...
So, thank you, Oleksii. We see you are really in your topic, and we will talk to your marketing department that we shorten your presentation for the next time. I would like to thank all of us that joined here, all of you that joined on stage for the innovation session.
And we have another person from innovation session, and actually, you know, I'm really excited when young generation really gives such a brilliant innovation ideas and such interesting innovation ideas. That's why I also always inspired when I meet Igor. And I'm sure he also ready to inspire you. So Igor BOYARYN, he is a CEO of Nexcore, member of supervisory board of Eurocar Service, head of IT processes in the Atoll Holding Group companies, and in 2016 he created and headed the company Nexcore, which focuses on creating its own software products that are used both with Atoll Holding and all the enterprises within the Ukrainian market. Nexcore also offers services in technology consulting, outsourcing development, supporting the development of IT infrastructure. The company focuses on creating strategy, design, software development to take businesses to the next level in today's digital world. And Igor, the floor is yours.
Hi. Thank you very much for the opportunity to present. I hope the sound is okay and you can hear me clearly. Basically, I will share my presentation with you and our work, which we've been doing with Atoll Holding together, as we're part of a huge company. And I hope that you can see my screen right now. So to start, basically, I will continue from the Oleg, as he said, basically we are one big holding company and we are driven by innovations. So it's pretty much our main focus in everything what we do. And so as Olga already mentioned, previously we help companies transform, and we help them with everything starting from strategy to basically software solutions themselves. And we also contribute ourselves to this change in the industry by producing our own products and services. So before I start with that, I will probably provide some background to our case and to everything which is happening currently in this sector of economy and generally in this industry. So first of all, it's very important to understand that currently the product which is being produced, there is a lot of spending, and more spending every year goes into software and technology development, and this greatly becomes greater and greater part in manufacturing cost of the product itself. Currently, I'm talking about cars, because obviously it's our area in which we work, and we understand that the cars are becoming more and more technologically advanced, and they basically there is a lot of focus currently going into the fact that making cars being safe, apart from environmentally friendly, but also safe with the driver behind the wheel, and even taking it further by actually going completely self-driving. So, and I believe this focus it's very important in this stage of time. And we understand, presume that this will revolutionize the industry overall, because obviously changing to completely self-autonomous driving cars, this will transform our day-to-day lives as we see them right now. And at the same time, we believe that processes are as important basically as the product itself. And currently we see that at the same time that during the time where products are becoming more and more technologically advanced, and the development of this advancement is going really fast, we can see that the development and change in the processes surrounding these products is moving much slower than our consumers would love to see. So this, just to show you some examples, from the last 2 years, from the year 2020 to 2022, nevertheless, that the cars became more and more advanced and more interesting for the clients than ever before. The decrease in customer satisfaction was falling over those 2 years, so from 72% to 61% of customers being satisfied with overall buying process of the cars. And again, as the products become more and more sophisticated, clients are asking for new tools to guide them through the sales process, and not only sales, but also through the ownership process, because buying a car or just choosing a car, it's only part of the process, but you have to live with it, and therefore it takes a lot of dedication to make this experience as a whole. And we see that product is very important, but it's only a part of client's experience. So as Philip Kotler said, basically he's a renowned marketing author and consultant and professor in this area. He said that the sales process is not only about you or your products, it's about the customer, their problems, and how they solve them. So that's why we so therefore, as a company, we want to contribute our innovation to this area, and we have a great possibility for this as Zavod Holding, as Oleg already previously mentioned. We produce cars, we distribute them, we sell them, we service them as dealers as well. So we have complete knowledge of the whole system, the whole process, and we look at this process as a whole from one side to another. So a journey of our clients to the manufacturing and back. And we do this basically in order to make this whole process as efficient as possible. We approach this by using new technologies, which we try to decrease human error, and we try to control the business process from start to finish, so no information is being lost, and all the acquired information is being used throughout many, many different systems in order to increase quality of service, make it more personalized for our clients, and so on. So all of this basically led to creation of our own products, and basically we started with the beginning of the process itself. So firstly, we created this special solution which allows our clients to reach us more efficiently, whether they want to communicate to us about the buying car or actually servicing it, which was just the beginning. Then we thought that we need to help clients to choose cars more wisely, because, as I said previously, they're becoming more and more sophisticated. So we created a software and hardware solution which allows you to test different driver assistance systems, which allows you to experience them for yourself, and after this make an informed decision as a customer whether you need this certain system or not, and whether they suit your needs, and how to use them, which is very important in a very safe environment. So after this, we obviously didn't stop, because the process continues. After this, you need a system which allows you to basically acquire all this information, support this processes in our dealerships. So we created our own CRM system, which covers the full sales process, again, from starting with the clients to the production process and back. Obviously, we cannot forget about everything which is happening with our resources. So how do we manage our resources? How do we manage our workstations, or service stations, and etc. And how effective we are as a company? As I said, as Oleg said previously, we are striving for optimization 5 times, so X5. And therefore, in order for us to do so, we needed to control very tightly what is happening in our enterprises, and therefore we created a family of products which allows you to basically optimize use of your resources and track them in real time, and how they're being basically used by different parties. And basically, in the end, saying that obviously it's not all the work which we do, but in the end, a lot of this work which we have taken, a lot of the knowledge and experience which we have, we actually used in order to currently to create a system, a new future kind of system. It's basically a platform which unites all of our products and all of our experience, which enables our clients to buy cars online and in future do much more. So our task as a company and as a holding itself is to create a service which allows you to cover all your mobility needs. So mobility needs, it doesn't take account only into cars, it could be any kind of mobility and any kind of service which revolves around buying car, owning car, servicing it, and everything which goes around it. And again, it doesn't matter whether it's car or not, it could be something else like bicycles, etc. So, and I'm pleased to announce that we are currently in the rollout process of our of this product which I'm talking about, and we'll hopefully see it by the end of this year in a test, and then later in a full launch. So thank you very much for the opportunity to share with you our experience and share with you our knowledge. So yeah, thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, and we are looking forward to have you as a partner of EIT Manufacturing and probably next winner of some challenges, right? Which Christian probably will say about later. Thank you so much, Innovation Roundtable. And right now I also would like to announce one of our guests, which actually exactly the same as one of our previous speakers. I met only due to this event, but I followed his activities already for 1.5 years. So I'm really pleased and I'm really happy to introduce to you Pavlo Kartashov. So please come. And Pavlo Kartashov, he's he's well-known person in Ukraine, and really everybody is following your activities and everything what you are doing for Ukraine. He is accomplished CEO with proven success in driving growth and innovation in Ukraine's startup ecosystem. Under his leadership, Ukrainian Startup Fund has become the largest angel investor in Ukraine and Eastern Europe. Such as actually USF grants, and actually under his leadership also he has a lot of grant programs as USF grants, dual use, acceleration program financed by more than 300 startups, totaling with $8.7 million. So this is exactly what we were expecting for such a kind of fund, and we are really pleased to see you here. And actually at the same time, I don't know if you know already, but exactly Pavlo Kartashov, he is a member of advisory board of EIT communities in Ukraine. So thank you so much, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. So good afternoon, everyone, once again. It's my pleasure to be here. I'll give you a brief explanation of what USF is, what we are doing, and maybe in a few words give you some idea of what we are going to do next year. So this is a slide. It's a diagram showing our activity for previous 4 years period. Basically, it's all our programs. And this is mainly focused on startups. So our first client is startups, and we're doing everything actually to meet their requests and needs. So we've got our core program, it's 25 and 50K, 25 for pre-seed stage startups and 50K for seed stage. And we already funded 380 plus startups. And we have also another program, it's called Acceleration Program. So basically we accredited 10 plus international accelerators. We're not doing in-house acceleration, so all the acceleration process is outsourced. So basically we're getting a grant, and startup will goes to any accelerator it choose. And we have roughly, it's up to 100 startups financed within this program. Also, we have innovative voucher program. So basically, we're covering the biggest tech events worldwide. We're doing up to 20 events annually. So now we are bringing delegation to Slush, now in Helsinki. Next year, in January, we're going to CES in Las Vegas. And for next year, we have even more than 20 tech events. So we're providing grant, which covering accommodation, travel costs, and also stand or kiosk. Usually we set up a pavilion representing the whole country. So we are also bringing IT companies and all the companies involved in the tech sector. And last but not least, this is latest program which already finishing, so it's dual use. When they was started, we launched this program, mainly focusing on 5 areas: defense, infrastructure, cybersecurity, education, healthcare. Basically, it's our attempt to match Ukrainian startups with the ministries, just to identify their needs and identify which startups could be used for the state interest. So our second client is corporates and VCs. So basically, we are dealing a lot of different projects with VCs and corporates, just making sure we, first of all, matching them with startups, and secondly, making sure companies got investment and they got pilots for on the corporate basis. For example, now we're bringing delegation to Plug and Play Summit, which is to be held from 5th till 8th December in San Francisco. 4,000 corporations will be there, so we're bringing 20 Ukrainian corporates. These are big companies like SOLNTSEV, like Sigma Software and many others, Epicenter, we're bringing Biopharma and many others. So this is our attempt to involve Ukrainian corporates which have innovation unit and dealing with innovation into global agenda. And basically afterwards, we'd like to collaborate with the biggest accelerators like Plug and Play. And also VCs. For example, if we're talking about automotive industry, for example, we're cooperating with Porsche Ventures. So 1 year ago, we received requests to find startups within 4 main focuses. So first, it was car and mobility. Secondly, intelligent enterprise, sustainability, and smart city and living. So basically, what we've done, we prepared a list of startups which more or less were matching with the request, and we contacted them. So basically, it's some kind of bridge. What we are doing, we are providing a bridge between startups and corporates, VCs, and any other stakeholders, obviously donors, to make sure all the needs are properly addressed. So also we have a lot of cooperation with donors. So we are operating a lot of different programs. We are operating programs of GIZ, German government, operating program of USAID, GIST, CRDF, and many. Now we'll be operating a big program of Western NIS Fund. So basically, we receiving money and we operating the whole program, making sure we are doing it on the highest level, because we have a good reporting system, we have a good monitoring system, and all the system, our platform is fully digital. So basically, the whole process is paperless. And last but not least, we are dealing a lot with universities, institutes, we're dealing with National Academy of Science, National Scientific Research Fund, and many others. So last year we participated in big EU tender, and we are part of winning consortium, which will be operating 20 million euros fund from the next year. So we are on the final stage. Actually, agreement is signed by EU already, so we are preparing to launch the deep tech program for 2 years. So once again, it's 20 million, 12 million will be allocated as a grants for Ukrainian startups, up to 60K per one startup. So I presume we'll have 3 types of grants, it's 10, 25, and 50K. And another thing we're doing already for more than 1 year, we're cooperating with EIT, and we already covered several tracks. We did EIT raw materials hackathon recently together with Lviv Polytechnics and Kyiv University. We did food and agro and health. So basically, we have 100 plus universities connected, and the number is increasing constantly. So basically, we are we want to make sure we are covering all the universities. We have addressed every single student, and we are providing them with all the information about grants, possibilities, financial, non-financial assistance, smart money, and whatever. And yeah, our main mission is to build and develop the ecosystem, and I believe we are good enough in this. Here's our contacts, so if you have any proposal, thoughts, comments, so please feel free to contact me or my colleagues. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. A really big honor and pleasure to have you here.